That's nice. We can do the Nanda Nandastakam Shruti. His round face is so lovely. His beautiful ears are adorned with hanging jeweled earrings, and his body is nicely anointed with fragrant sandalwood paste. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. His eyes are elongated like lotuses. Peacock feathers adorn his head, and he enchants millions of cupids. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. From the tip of his beautiful nose hangs an elephant pearl. His rows of teeth shine naturally like pearls, and his bodily complexion shines like a fresh rain cloud. I offer pranam to that Nanda Nandan. His hands are adorned with a flute. His majestic gait excels that of the king of elephants, and he is beautified by fine yellow garments. I offer pranam to that Nanda Nandan. His threefold bending form is most beautiful. His nails glow like the moon, and he is adorned by priceless gems. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. His body exudes an extraordinarily enchanting fragrance, and upon his broad chest the Kastuba gem shines, along with the mark of Srivats. I offer pranam to that Nanda Nandan. He is Vrindavan's expert paramour. He dresses in a manner to enhance his charming, playful pastimes, and who liberates Indra from his pride. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandana. The exquisite lover of the damsels of Braj always bestows happiness upon all living entities and enchants their mind. I offer pranam to that Sri Nanda Nandan. Whoever with faith recites these 8 verses glorifying the son of Nanda will easily conquer the insurmountable ocean of material existence and obtain shelter at his 2 lotus feet. O Srimati Radhika, who are glorified by great sages, O you who dispel the lamentation of the 3 worlds, whose lotus face blossoms with a humorous smile, and who sports in the kunjas, O beloved daughter of King Vrishabhanu, O most near and dear to the son of the king of Braj, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are present in a pavilion made of creepers that are entwined around Ashoka trees, whose beautiful, tender, reddish feet have the luster of coral and newly sprouting reddish leaves, and whose raised hand grants benedictions and fearlessness. O abode of infinite opulence, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who on the stage of amorous sports, in the course of an auspicious discussion, express amazement by curving your eyebrows like bows, and then suddenly firing the arrows of your sidelong glances, piercing the son of Sri Nanda with amorous delusion, and bringing him under your perpetual control. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose radiant and fair form resembles lightning, gold, and champak flowers, whose lotus face defeats the splendor of the effulgence of millions of autumnal moons, and whose eyes, restless like those of a young chakora bird, make various astonishing expressions at each moment. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are intoxicated by your youthfulness, who are decorated with the delightful ornament of sulky anger, who revels in your lover's attachment to you, and who are supremely proficient in the art of loving affairs, O you who are the most learned in knowledge of loving sports within the realm of your confidential, auspicious forest groves, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are decorated with the ornaments of Anubhav, such as Hav and Bhav, and a diamond necklace of gentleness and gravity, whose breasts are like water pots made of pure gold, and which resemble the twin mounds on the head of an elephant. O you whose glorious, gentle smile is like an ocean full of bliss, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose arms are like the tender stems of a lotus swaying in the water's waves, whose glance from blue eyes resembles the tips of creepers dancing in the breeze, who will lure Man Mohan to follow you, and upon meeting him steal away his mind and give him shelter in his state of enchantment. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose neck is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell and is adorned with golden necklaces and an auspicious tree sutra, glowing with 3 kinds of brilliant gems. O you whose bluish black tresses, interwoven in a braid with clusters of flower blossoms, sway to and fro. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you, from whose rounded hips hangs a wreath of excellent flowers, on whose charming slender waist a sublime belt of tiny bejeweled bells sweetly rings, and whose beautiful thighs taper like the sloping trunk of a king of elephants. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you whose ankle bells, sweetly resounding with a host of Vedic mantras, resemble the warbling of a flock of royal swans, and whose beautiful gait mocks the movements of a swaying golden creeper. When will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O you who are worshipped by Lakshmi Devi, the mistress of unlimited Vaikuntha planets, and who bestows benedictions upon Sri Parvati, Indrani, and Saraswati. Even one of the nails on your lotus feet gives rise to an infinite variety of spiritual perfections. Oh, when will you make me the recipient of your merciful sidelong glance? O mistress of all kinds of sacrifices, of all activities, of the mantras uttered during yajna, of all the gods, of the teachings of the three Vedas, of the enforcement of all scriptural principles, of the goddess of fortune, of forgiveness, and of the delightful forest of Vrindavan, O mistress and empress of Braj, O Srimati Radhika, I offer my pranam unto you. O daughter of Vrishabhanu, upon hearing this wonderful prayer, please make me qualified to perpetually receive your merciful sidelong glance. By your mercy, my 3 types of karma will be destroyed, and at that moment I will enter the circle of the son of the king of Braj and his dearmost Sakis. Jai Srimati Radhike ki jai, Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha ki jai. Maha Mantra? No? Okay. Yeah, of course. I was hoping and praying.
Why not asking? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaura Hari. Kali Yuga Pavana Jaya Gaura Hari. Burning? Check. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Oh Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe Radhe, Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe 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 Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Asta Sakhi Shiromani Radhe Radhe. Hanuman Mohini Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Yanitimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Tadavaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Sadavaksaya Namo Namaha Yam Pravajantam Anapeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahaka Tadua Juhava Putre Tritanmayatayo Tadavo Banedush Tang Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Bhaktya Vahinai Aparada Lakshai Chiptascha Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitwam Sharanam Papadyam Vrinde Namaste Charanada Vrindam Tavevasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigairade Tam Nayanam Charanantike Kripayati Adirada Bhaditate Shabadha Kimapada Vishishtam Pushti Maryadayorme Yadivadati Chakinchit Smera Hashoditashir Dvijavaramani Panktya Mukti Shuktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shakanda Shekhar Smera Hasamurali Manohar Radhika Rasika Mama Kripanidhi Swapriya Charanakin Karim Kuru Prananata Rishabhanu Nandini Shri Mukhabja Rasalola Satpada Radhika Padatale Krita Stitim Tvam Bhajami Rasikendra Shekhar Samvidaya Dashane Trinam Vibho Partaye Braja Mahendra Nandana Astu Mohana Tavati Balaba Janma Jamani Madishwari Priya. My heartfelt obeisances to my beloved Holy Master, Nitya Vishwam Vishnu Padasot Sochi Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Also unto Nitya Vishwam Vishnu Padasot Sochi Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Bharti Goswami Maharaj. Nitya Vishwam Vishnu Padasot Sochi Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. To our entire Rupanuga Guru Varga. To all the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. So, we didn't finish honoring all the holy days from last Sunday, and then we had Mahavishnu. We had guests, then we had Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu came to Acharya, and so we have. You ready for Das Goswami? You ready for Pundarik Vidyanidhi? Okay. So first, was also the disappearance day of Srimad Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj. And one time, me and my friend Sudevi were in India. Where were we? Gopinath Bhavan, Vrindavan, with Srila Bharti Maharaj, and we were passing his room. The door was open, and he was there alone. So Devi's like, I have a question. So we went in, and she said to Srila Maharaj, now that our Gurudev isn't physically present, how do we know what seva to do? How do we know who to serve? And he said, once Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj was sick, and there was no one to take care of him, so I did it. He said, so when you see a Vaishnava need seva, you serve. So I thought that was really just so simple, but so high simultaneously. So he's written the Bengali version of Guru Vastakam. That's also by him. And he's a prominent disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So I'm just going to read. Did you want to say something about Bhakti Adi? Were you going to? Oh, okay. I thought Didi maybe asked you. Okay, so we'll read this lecture of Srila Bharti Maharaj about Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj. Today is the disappearance day of my Shiksha Guru, Chadandi Swami Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj, a jewel-like disciple of Srila Prabhupada who was especially empowered by Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj was a senior sannyas disciple of Srila Prabhupada and a very good preacher with a wonderful character. How many sannyas disciples did Srila Prabhupada have? 18. Jai. 18. Before joining the Mat permanently, who's beeping? All phones on silent, please. Which apparently didn't work. I'm just kidding. Before joining the Mat permanently, he was working at the Secretariat, and he would spend his holidays at the Mat on Ultadanga Road. He stayed on the first floor. During one such visit, he was returning to his room when he heard Srila Prabhupada ask about him. There was that boy. I don't see him anymore. But I recall how he used to hear Katha very carefully. Then he heard someone reply, he has left to go get married. Srila Prabhupada asked, nobody can make him stay back? Then Maharaj, who was climbing the stairs, appeared in front of Srila Prabhupada and said, I have returned. Srila Prabhupada asked, you came back? To which he affirmed, yes, I have come back. After this incident, he never left the Mat, nor did he get married. Once, even though it was raining outside in Mayapur, he took the initiative to clean vessels while getting drenched in the rain. When Srila Prabhupada observed this, feeling he had the appropriate qualification to accept sannyas, he told him it would be good for him to take sannyas. That's so amazing. He made that decision seeing him as he's cleaning in the rain. Yes. Yeah. He had a very tall figure. When he performed Nagar Sankirtan, he would attract many people. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj had a broad face and did very nice kirtan. Being absorbed in kirtan, he would lift his hands up. He preached extensively. His katha was always very sweet. Oh, is the millet on there? Didi's? No, Didi's records. No, the millet. Once while preaching in Dhaka, several people opposed him as there was a strong Sahajya influence there. Nobody was prepared to even rent out a building for the Gaudiya Mat. Nevertheless, Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj spoke katha in Dhaka for a month, and many attended his programs. He resolved to acquire land in Dhaka for the Gaudiya Mat from the municipality there. Land could easily be obtained with the help of a letter from the commissioner granting permission. However, because of the prevailing opposition to the Gaudiya Mat, no Hindu was willing to give the recommendation. In the end, a Muslim commissioner recommended him, and hence a large Mat was established in Dhaka. Oh, that's cool. Maharaj carried out so much preaching there. Once there was an exhibition in which the story of Chota Haridas was depicted. There was also a picture depicting people collecting money from pilgrims in exchange for darshan of the deity in a temple. These types of people were also depicted using shalagrams to break ground nuts for eating. God, that's so intense. Oh my God, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, so many shalagrams? And then they're using them to break nuts. Oh my God. Whereas the exhibition was largely opposed in Calcutta, the people in Dhaka very much appreciated it. Srila Bharti Maharaj made another mat in Swargadwar by the name of Gaudiya Asan. He later handed the mat over to Srila Shri Rup Siddhanti Maharaj, whose sevaks are taking care of it now. He also handed over his Calcutta mat to Srila Shri Rup Siddhanti Maharaj. That's his godbrother. Jai. Yeah. Srila Bhakti Vivek Bharti Goswami Maharaj ki. Hi. Okay. So, who wants to go first? Das Goswami and Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Okay, let's do Das Goswami. So now Sankirtan Bihari Prabhu. Glorify Srila Raghunath Das Goswami.
Om Gyanantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I was very kindly and mercifully requested by my Guru Devi to speak something about our Prayojanacharya, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. We have three tattvas, Sambandha tattva, Abhideya tattva, and Prayojan tattva. And our Sambandha tattva Acharya is Srila Sanatana Goswami. Our Abhideya tattva Guru is Rupa Goswami. And our Prayojan tattva Guru is Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. A few days back was his appearance day on Vasant Panchami, or disappearance day, one of them. Either way, it's a good day to speak something about his glories. He's Rati Manjari in Radha and Krishna's Vraj Leelas, and he wrote many books. One prominent one is Vilap Kusumanjali, that my Guru Devi loves to read before bed, offering her heart's flowers to Radharani. Also, his samadhi is on the banks of Radha Kund, where there is a 24-hour kirtan happening all the time. So he's really amazing. I'm just going to read something from this Treasury of Holy Days book that Guru Devi was reading from yesterday. There's something about Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. It's by Srila Gurudev. And she's there holding skincare for the Lord. Yes.
Since the day I joined her 4 years ago.
Amazing.
It's so incredible. I was sleeping in a room with her, and she'd play it on this like tape recorder at night. She had a cassette player with these cassettes. And I'm like laying on the floor, just playing all night. I don't understand any of it, and I just want to sleep. And sometimes I'm like, what is this?
That's so much mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many beautiful prayers in that one. I think also Kunj Kirtan is based on verse 3 of Vilap Kusumanjali. She told me that when I first met her. My first darshan of Guru Devi was her painting that painting, and she told me that, and I was like, all right. So this is from Srila Gurudev's lectures translated, right, from Hindi, I think, yes. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also of Krishna. But in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, he showed the sadhana bhajan for attaining the elevated devotional stages of bhava and prema. If a sadhaka sincerely desires to engage in bhajan to achieve the direct association of Bhagavan without delay, perhaps in only 1 or 2 births, then he should engage in bhajan just as Raghunath Das Goswami did. But doing that type of bhajan is very, very difficult. How he left his home and family, how he engaged in very strict bhajan, how in his final days he went without eating and drinking and just cried day and night in divine separation. All of this would be very difficult for us, but for those who are really desiring prema, it is not so difficult. This world is a reflection of the spiritual world. There is some similarity between them. If we see that this world is a place of instruction rather than a place of enjoyment, then we will be benefited. But only those who have taken sincere shelter at the feet of a guru will take such instruction. Not everyone will be able to accept it. Dattatreya understood that this world is a place of instruction, and therefore he accepted 24 gurus. When we can fully understand the 24 gurus that have been mentioned, we will see that the entire world is our guru. Why has it been said that there are 24 gurus? Because there is nothing in all of existence from which some instruction cannot be taken. For an intelligent person, all the objects of the world will give some kind of instruction. Someone may argue that the world is a prison house which is full of unlimited misery. Bhagavatam 10:14-36. Tavad ragadaya stenas tavad kara graham graham tavan mohongri nigado yavat Krishna natejana. For those who are not devotees of Sri Krishna, the bewilderment of material attachment serves as the handcuffs and foot shackles that bind them in the prison of Maya. But the material world will not be a prison for those who are not infatuated with it. Here, raga means material attachment, which is like a thief and is the cause of our bondage. If this attachment is removed, then liberation will be attained. In this regard, Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami in Madhya Lila 16:237, Stirahana ghare yao nahau vatula, krame krame paya loka bhava sindhu kula. For now, return home and remain in household life. Don't behave irrationally. Eventually, you will be able to cross the ocean of material existence. If Bhagavan could be attained just by leaving home, then so many people would leave their homes because they couldn't get along with other members of the household or because poverty or some other type of reason. But would they attain the association of Bhagavan just by going to another place? Bhagavan is not attained merely by abandoning one's home and family. Especially if one abandons his home and family in an immature stage, it will be very detrimental to his welfare, and his condition may become even worse than that of an ordinary materialist. Bhagavan is attained only through abandoning material attachments and engaging in real bhajan. Therefore, Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami, for now, return home and be patient, and when the time comes, you will automatically be able to leave everything. There is nothing in the material world that is inherently bad. It is only a question of proper or improper utilization. Like a knife, you can kill someone or you can cut veggies. In Madhya Lila 16:239, Antare nishtakare bhaya loka vyavahar achirat Krishna tamaya kariba udar. Externally, you should behave in an ordinary fashion with your family members, but internally you should have nishtha. Then Krishna will deliver you very soon. But is having nishtha an easy thing? What is nishtha? Immovable, firm resolution. When there is firm confidence that whatever is said by Guru, Vaishnava, and Shastra is correct, then that is called Shraddha. When this Shraddha becomes firm, it's called Nishtha. I will give up my very life, but I will never leave the bhajan of Bhagavan. If I live at home or wherever, I will always engage in bhajan. Such resolution is called Nishtha. Honoring this instruction of Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das Goswami returned home and began taking Harinam and studying the scriptures, and at the same time attending to all his worldly duties. Eventually his nishtha increased more and more, and after attaining the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he was able to leave his home permanently. He had tried to leave before and was unsuccessful, but Bhagavan could see the desire within him, and therefore he made the arrangement for him to leave. When Bhagavan sees that there is sincere desire within us, he will make all arrangements for us to come to him. Otherwise, if we try to make the necessary arrangements ourselves, we won't be able to enter into bhajan proper, and we will eventually fall down. Therefore, Bhagavan makes the arrangement for us. Just an aside, I feel like that's what he did for me here, because I really wanted to leave home like 6 years ago, and it wasn't happening. I wanted to move into Radhe Kunj, but that didn't happen. But this happened, so Jai. Therefore, Bhagavan makes the arrangement for us, just as we see that he did for Gopa Kumar and Brihad Bhagavatamrita. In the form of Chaitya Guru, in the heart, he sees what is necessary and sends the Diksha Guru and the Shiksha Guru to us. Who gave Raghunath Das Goswami the company of Haridas Thakur? Did Raghunath Das Goswami meet him of his own accord? The arrangement was made by Bhagavan. Haridas Thakur used to visit the home of Raghunath Das Goswami. Why? What is the necessity of his going there? Haridas Thakur was the supreme renunciate. Every day he would chant 3 lakh of Harinam. Therefore, he could see that the natural love and devotion for Bhagavan that the young boy Raghunath Das possessed, so he would go to his home and teach him how to take Harinam. Of course, Raghunath Das had previous samskars of a perfected soul, but here we can see how Bhagavan makes the arrangement for a sadhak to acquire the association of a great personality. And he also sent Yadunandan Acharya, a disciple of Advaita Acharya, to become Raghunath Das Goswami's Diksha Guru. So yesterday, Advaita Acharya's appearance was the appearance day of Raghunath Das Goswami's Param Gurudev. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.3, it says, Stane sita shrutikatam tanuvan manobhir ye prayaso jita jitopyasitais trilokyam. Even while remaining within their respective social positions, fortunate souls get the opportunity to hear Harikatha from great personalities, and becoming inspired to dedicate their body, mind, and words, they conquer he who is otherwise unconquerable by anyone within the 3 worlds. Bhagavan made this arrangement for Raghunath Das Goswami, and within a short time, intense eagerness arose within his heart, and he thought, how will I attain the direct association of Bhagavan? What kind of sadhan bhajan should I perform? Then he went to Panihati, where he received the darshan of Nityananda Prabhu. On the order of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das arranged a big festival, and by the power of his meditation, Nityananda Prabhu called Mahaprabhu himself to attend it. When Raghunath Das received the darshan of the 2 brothers taking prasad together, this increased his desire even more. Then Nityananda Prabhu placed his lotus feet on Raghunath Das's head and said, now all your obstructions will disappear. So by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he was able to leave his home and travel to Puri, where he attained the shelter of Mahaprabhu's feet. This time Mahaprabhu gave him another type of instruction. Madhya Leela 22:157. Mane nija siddha deha kariya bhavan, ratri dine kare vraje Krishna rasevan. Internally, a perfected soul thinks day and night of serving Krishna in Vrindavan, and Swarup Damodar will teach you this very special activity. Mahaprabhu didn't personally give Raghunath Das so much instruction, but he handed him over to one of his eternal associates, from whom he received all instruction. And what did Swarup Damodar teach him? To perform the highest standards of bhajan that he himself did. Swarup Damodar would compose shlokas describing the ontological position of Mahaprabhu, and he also kept a diary describing the daily pastimes of Mahaprabhu. For instance, he wrote that one night when the waves of bhava were powerfully flowing through Mahaprabhu's heart, he somehow managed to pass through 3 bolted doors. He mistook the ocean to be the Kalindi, and thinking the waves to be due to the sporting of Krishna and the gopis, he jumped in. Floating farther and farther away, he came to a net of a fisherman. When that fisherman brought the devotees to Mahaprabhu, they saw that all his joints were dislocated. His limbs were all elongated, and he was rolled up into a round shape. This is a symptom of Mahabhav. This will not happen in the stages of prema, sneha, mana, pranaya, raga, or even anurag. Sometimes this will not even happen in Mahabhav, but only in the higher stages of ruddha, adhiruddha, madana, and chitrajalpa. But this may not even come within chitrajalpa, which is where Srimati Radhika in the madness of divine separation was speaking to a bee about Krishna. We don't find any description of her ever displaying the symptoms that Mahaprabhu did here. Swarup Damodar recorded these pastimes in his diary and revealed them all to Raghunath Das Goswami. Then later, Raghunath Das revealed them to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Murari Gupta, who's an incarnation of Hanuman, also kept a diary, but since his feelings were for Dasya Ras, he found other pastimes of Mahaprabhu to be more tasteful, and therefore he described them. Swarup Damodar was Lalita herself, so in his poetry he described the Mahabhav and higher conditions of Mahaprabhu. Just see what an excellent arrangement Mahaprabhu made for Raghunath Das Goswami. He handed him over to Swarup Damodar, who taught him all of these things. If we ever received such a good opportunity, then we should understand that it was arranged by Bhagavan himself. For a sadhaka who is especially sincere, he will make such an arrangement. But one who is not so eager will not receive such good fortune. At first, Mahaprabhu instructed Raghunath Das to remain at home. This instruction was in relation to Vaidhi Bhakti. The instruction that he gave later, that a perfected soul deeply remembers Krishna day and night, was on the Raganuga level. And Raghunath Das harmonized both of these in his life. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada also gave instructions related to Vaidhi, such as instructions for Archan, while at the same time drawing forth the sentiments of Raganuga from the poetry of Srimad Bhagavatam. He combined them in his preaching in this world. Regardless if people were qualified or unqualified, Prabhupada accepted everyone. Previously, there was a prohibition that only those who were especially qualified could leave their homes and families and come to engage in bhajan. But everyone receives a good opportunity from Prabhupada. He created a school in which even those who were unqualified could come and learn and gradually progress upwards. Otherwise, he would not have the qualification to come in this line. But he opened the door for everyone. These days, society has become somewhat degraded. Young boys no longer honor the conventions of society or accept the guidance of their parents as they did previously. They sometimes fall into bad company and become thieves and dacoits, and then it becomes almost impossible for them to be rectified and find the correct path. But Prabhupada made schools and centers in Mayapur and all over India in which these boys could come. Perhaps they only had a little taste for spiritual life, but he saw their potential to eventually have complete taste. They learned something there and made substantial progress in the direction of pure bhajan, sometimes even up to the point of becoming brahmacharis. Those who desire to do so could, after some time, return to their homes, marry, and perform bhajan there. Prabhupada didn't impose any restriction on that. In this way, Mahaprabhu's mission was spread throughout India. As long as Mahaprabhu remained in this world, Raghunath Das Goswami stayed near him. And when he disappeared, Raghunath Das became so disturbed that he at once gave up eating. Then in a short time, Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda, and Gadadhar Pandit, or Lalita, Vishaka, and Radhika herself, all left this world. Because everything then appeared void in Puri, all the remaining devotees left there. The very things that had been previously so dear to Raghunath Das now pained him like thorns. His condition was like the residents of Vraj after Krishna had departed for Mathura. When Krishna was in Vrindavan, the Sakhas and Sakhis loved Nanda Bhavan very much. The gopis loved the Yamuna's Gopi Ghat so much because there they would meet Krishna. They loved Govardhan so much because there were so many beautiful gardens and kunjas there that they would make flower garlands for Krishna. Blissfully they would go to these places, but when Krishna departed for Mathura, Nanda Bhavan appeared empty and lifeless. The gopis' remembrance of Krishna became so intense that they no longer desired to go there, and everywhere they cast their vision drowned them in Vipralamba Ras. Food was no longer prepared there. The utensils were just lying around, and there were cobwebs everywhere. Who would they prepare food for? Mother Yashoda had become almost blind in separation. In an attempt to forget Krishna, Nanda Baba left there, but there was no place in Vraj where that would allow forgetfulness of Krishna. Everything just brought more remembrance of him. After Mahaprabhu left this world, the devotees in Puri were in exactly the same condition. For Raghunath Das, going to Gambhira was like entering a fire, and day and night he only cried and cried. This is real bhajan. And then until one's bhajan is of this standard, it is only abhas, or a shadow of real bhajan. Unless one has experienced such intense feelings of separation from Krishna, Guru, and the Vaishnavas, they have not entered into real bhajan. Mahaprabhu himself showed this way. He was always lamenting, "Where can I find Brajendra Nandan? Where has he gone?" Day and night he was crying and feeling the full impact of divine separation. Sometimes we also cry, but for what reason? Because we have just received some indication that our material attachments and enjoyment may be taken away from us. Inside, we should be feeling intense separation from Mahaprabhu, from Sri Radha and Krishna. And if not directly from them, then from our own Guru. But we have no experience of these feelings of the upper world, and instead we only desire material happiness. But really we belong exclusively to them, and with that understanding we should approach this line of devotion. Therefore first there should be deep attachment for bhajan, and then for bhajaniya, those whom we are worshipping. In our conditioned state, we are not as much concerned about chanting our daily prescribed number of rounds as we are about things like, what will I eat? Where will I live? But how did Raghunath Das Goswami perform bhajan? His only anxiety was, how will I do bhajan? How will I make sure that my life is not wasted? And how will I attain Bhagavan in this very life? For those of us aspiring for Raganuga Bhakti, the life of Raghunath Das Goswami is very instructive. And if we can assimilate into our lives even one iota of his eagerness for bhajan, we will surely become successful. Regardless of whether we are renunciates or householders, we should have some of the eagerness for bhajan that he did. If we have that eagerness, then all of our endeavors will automatically become crowned with success. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai, Rati Manjari ki jai.
Yeah. So for those of you who came in a little late, last Sunday was so many holidays, and then we didn't have enough time to speak about them all. So Sankirtan Bihari Prabhu just glorified through his Param Gurudev and his Guru Devi, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, explaining beautifully how he is our Prayojan Acharya. Prayojan means goal. So we want to follow in the footsteps of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. And Srila Gurudev, in this beautiful article, explained what happened to Mahaprabhu, what happened to Das Goswami after Mahaprabhu left, and how just giving up, just in this constant state of separation, where is Krishna, where is Radha, where is Mahaprabhu, just only thinking, giving up eating, sleeping, it's such a high, but we pray to follow in Das Goswami's footsteps and be more concerned about our seva, about our sadhan, about our gurus, more than our own. And that as Thakur Bhaktivinoda says in Gurudev Bodho Kripa Kori, that our bodily maintenance will just go on automatically. So thank you so much. Yeah. So now Gadagaja Prabhu will speak about Pundarik Vidyanidhi, whose day was also on that day.
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams, my worshipful Diksha to Guru Devi, Srimati Shamarani Didi, the whole Guru, Rupanuga Guru Varga, and all assembled Vaishnavas, Dandavat pranams. So I'm going to say something in the glorification of Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who is Vrishabhanu Maharaj, the father of Srimati Radhika. And I'm just kind of like amazed and cherishing all of these participants in Gaura Leela that we've been hearing about, and how amazing it is that they are simultaneously the associates of Radha and Krishna, like Rati Manjari, Rupa, Raghunath Das Goswami. How sweet it is that these servants of Radharani are here and come into this world, and they're in the forest groves, serving Radha. And likewise, Mahaprabhu himself is Krishna, tasting these moods of Srimati Radhika and coming and distributing within this material world. And Gadadhar Pandit is the disciple of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi is his guru, but in Radha and Krishna's Leela is Vrishabhanu Maharaj, her father. So it's just so interesting, these dynamics going on in Gaura Leela. Even with Advaita Acharya yesterday, you have this I think, udana, this efficient ingredient of Mahavishnu's glance, having a conversation with Nityananda Prabhu, and they're just joking around. So it's just so divine and interesting, these dynamics. And so I just wanted to mention something about Gadadhar Pandit before I get into a little bit of Leela of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So we know, of course, Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radhika, and we heard recently Guru Devi glorifying Radhika and Gadadhar Pandit in this way, that that Radhika is always tending to Krishna's desire. She only wants 100%, 1,000,000% Krishna's happiness. So in Krishna's Leela, she's doing man, she's taking different moods, but then in Mahaprabhu's Leela, where Krishna's wanting to relish this mood, she's there assisting, like this. And so Gurudevi gives the example that if someone wants to impersonate someone in the room, that same person's still in the room, but they might not actually be doing it as good as the other person. I think she gave the example of Sukanta the other day. And Gadadhar Pandit was revered as a very great scholar, and Mahaprabhu used to sit with Gadadhar Pandit in Puri, and they used to relish Srimad Bhagavatam together. It says in this chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat that I was reading in preparation to this that they would read like Prahlad Maharaj's Leela, and Mahaprabhu would become so ecstatic hearing the narration from Gadadhar's lotus lips that he would say, "Please, again, again," and they would go like this 100 times through Prahlad Maharaj's Leela, Dhruva Maharaj, like this. And so Gadadhar was a very amazing scholar, and it's also well known that they spoke this verse, Bharhabitam Natavadavapu, and that this verse threw Mahaprabhu into great ecstasy, hearing about this beautiful verse about Krishna's form entering the Vrindavan forest. But Gadadhar Pandit said, it's very good, but still pulled his ear, saying, you could do better, you could have more ecstasy. So the guru of Gadadhar Pandit is Pundarik Vidyanidhi, who was an old associate and close friend, actually, of Swarup Damodar, Lalita Saki. And Swarup Damodar invited Pundarik Vidyanidhi to visit Jagannath Puri to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was there. And not only was Pundarik Vidyanidhi really near and dear to Swarup Damodar, but was very, very near and dear also to Mahaprabhu. And when Mahaprabhu saw Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he would cry and cry and cry, and he would embrace him in the kirtan, and tears would fall over his body. And together they would dance in ecstasy of the Lord's names to get darshan of Lord Jagannath. And it was just an amazing scene as they did in Puri. And so Mahaprabhu requested Pundarik Vidyanidhi to take residence there in Jagannath Puri so that they could associate and he could take part in Mahaprabhu's wonderful Puri Leela. And so like that he was going on. And so there's one Leela I wanted to mention there about Puri that happened that's very interesting and amazing. But also I wanted to read another famous incident of how Gadadhar Pandit actually accepted Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his guru, which is very interesting. And I'm reading from Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Maharaj's article. In Gaura Leela, Rishabhanu Maharaj appeared as Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, and Srimati Radharani appeared as Sri Gadadhar Pandit. Once Mukunda said to Gadadhar Pandit, "Today I will take you to meet a wonderful Vaishnav." As he took Gadadhar Pandit to meet Pundarik Vidyanidhi, as they arrived, Gadadhar Pandit was bewildered to find Pundarik Vidyanidhi reclining comfortably on an ornate bed, its legs carved out of special Inguli wood, holding a mattress as soft as milk. His eyes fell on the golden spittoons next to the bed. Those who did not know him would consider him to be a prince, as everything about him and around him gave the impression that he was a man of an ease and comfortable life given to pleasure. Immediately a doubt arose in the mind of Gadadhar Pandit. How can one be a Vaishnav if he is enjoying such opulent facilities? Perceiving the doubt in Gadadhar Pandit's mind, Mukunda quoted a sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he, who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana? And although she was unfaithful, and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. As soon as Vidyanidhi heard this description of devotional service, he began to weep incessantly. An unprecedented flow of tears from his eyes appeared. All the symptoms of ecstatic love, like tears, shivering, perspiration, losing consciousness, hair standing on end, and loud shouting, simultaneously manifested in his body. He could not remain steady and fell to the ground. He broke all the surrounding paraphernalia by kicking his feet. Nothing was spared. What happened to the opulent pan container and the nicely prepared pan? What happened to the water pots that were used for drinking water? Where did the bed fall by the kick of his feet? Out of ecstatic love, he tore apart his opulent clothes with his 2 hands. What happened to his opulently styled hair as he rolled on the ground and cried profusely, "O Krishna, O my Lord, O Krishna, O my life and soul, you have made my heart hard like wood or stone." He lamented and cried loudly, "In your present incarnation I have been deceived." He fell to the ground and rolled about so forcefully that everyone thought, "Have his bones been broken to pieces?" He shivered so vigorously out of ecstatic love that even 10 men could not hold him still. Clothes, bedding, water pots, bowls, and all other paraphernalia were smashed by the kicking of his feet. There was not a single item spared. After manifesting ecstatic symptoms for some time in this way, he remained there lying unconscious. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Lila. This incident proves that Vaishnav Darshan is not obtained merely by observing the external appearance of a Vaishnava. Seeing all these ecstatic symptoms on the body of Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Gadadhar Pandit realized that Pundarik Vidyanidhi was a great Vaishnav. Worried that he had committed an offense onto Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he resolved to accept Pundarik Vidyanidhi as his spiritual master and thus atone for his offense. Today is his appearance day. So it's amazing. He thought that he was, engaged in all this sense enjoyment, but then Mukunda, who brought him there, quoted the shloka from Bhagavan, and he just went into this crazy ecstasy, and everything went out the door, throwing all of his stuff, his fancy clothes, his hair. And so then Gadadhar Pandit figured that he made an offense, thinking in this way, and accepted him as his spiritual master, seeing, this is an exalted personality. So yeah, amazing instructive pastime about we can't always tell the external, we can't tell the qualities of a Vaishnava by their external circumstance. And so back to Puri, another pastime, which is kind of similar in a way, but different. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was there associating with Mahaprabhu, and there came this festival. And this festival is such that they give new ornaments and clothes to Jagannath. And during this festival, all the devotees, they came and they brought very lavish, beautiful things. And they brought fresh, brand new cloth. And the cloth was all starchy and new and hadn't been washed or anything. And so a doubt arose in his mind. How can they offer Lord Jagannath this cloth that's all starchy? They haven't even washed it or anything like this. And he expressed this to Swarup Damodar, and Swarup Damodar told him, there cannot be a mistake in the Leela of the devotees of Lord Jagannath. It's not possible. And so he also kind of came to this conclusion, how could I doubt the devotees, and how could I doubt Lord Jagannath? He's obviously facilitating this pastime. So that night he went to bed, and in his dream, Lord Jagannath and Baladev, they both appeared to him, and they slapped him all across the face, and he chastised him very sincerely. How could you ever think like this? How could you ever think like this about the devotees of the Lord? They're perfect. The Jagannath Leela is perfect. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi offered his obeisances, grabbed his feet, and was crying, "Please forgive me," and all these things. And he woke up in the morning and he checked his cheeks, and they were all swollen up. And he felt himself so happy and grateful that he had gotten chastisement by the Lord. He was saying, how often is it that, the Lord himself appears in one's dreams? It's so rare, and I got his direct association, and he chastised me, and by his chastisement, he purified my offense. So this is very, very sweet Leela. And he came out, and Swarup Damodar saw his cheeks all swollen up, so then he told him about what had happened. So, yeah, that's something about Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi and the wonderful transcendental Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai. 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 Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So many.
Tonight, Vishnu Prabhu and I are holding Mindful Wednesday here.